Yo, Slazio, back again with another tutorial. And in today's tutorial, I will show you the benefits of using what we call components in React and how good they are. So stay tuned and let's get straight to it. So let's continue from where we left from last time, and that is starting our project. So let's say npm start, and it is asking me to start running on another port because I'm using 3000. So if you're not seeing this message, don't worry about it, just say why. And we are live, so it is working currently on 3001. If you have 3000, it's fine. All right, so today we are going to be learning about what we call components. And you might ask yourself, what's component? Component simply is breaking down your project so it's more for developers readable and more neat in terms of looking at and making things a lot more easier. And so what we will do in here is delete this entire thing, and we're not using this logo, so we can remove this logo as well. All right, so now we have a clear app. So what we'll do here is we'll create we will come to the src source and we will say folder, and we'll call this component. We'll just go straight to it, and inside we'll create something called header .jsx. All right, inside of the header, what we're going to have is, we can start like that from the beginning, or we can say, we can do this. It's a lot easier. All right, now we have a header component. So let's make things faster, and we can say footer JSX. All right, now we have footer and we have what? Header. So let's do this as well. Cool. All right. So now let's give this a class name, and the class name would be header. And if we go to switch on to the footer would have a class name of this is an error you guys might get as well. So always you need to write these class names inside of the div, and the class name would be footer. All right, and on here let's look at copy right, and here we'll say this is a serious matter, copyright for our little app. And inside of the header we will have what we call h1. And you guys might be wondering, how am I able to write a h1? Like, this is an HTML element. How am I able to write it in JavaScript? That is a very good question, because I'm using JSX. If you're using the normal JavaScript, it's going to be difficult. So you need to have JSX, which basically allows HTML to be rendered or worked within JavaScript. So let's give our app a name. Let's say Note plus to do app. I'm not the most creative with names, guys, so allow me, please. All right, so now we have the header and the footer built within a component folder. So now we can come to the app.js and basically come here, basically write them down here. So instead, what we could have done is just say h1. Oh, you see, guys, it's not going to be working here. Look here, h1. I can't do it. But if I do this, usually it allows with the JSX immediately. Yeah, you see, it's not allowing. All right, let's do this. Rename this JSX. All right, let's try again. You know what? It could have maybe worked if I just refreshed. Okay. So as you can see, we could have said hello. We could have said the app name here. You see, we could have came here and done this, and then if we have other maybe stuff, for example, in a normal header website, we would have like menu and stuff, and you could see, for example, if we had like the home button, and then if we had contact and about us page all lined up here, like for example, this is an example, but imagine if it was like this, and then we had other stuff and it lined up again, and then the whole entire app would basically be packed with so many codes, and it will be hard to define which one is which and whatnot. And that's why we are using what we call component. So simply what we could do here is come here and say a header, and it comes right here. You see, header is not headers, because headers is something that is within JavaScript, but header is what we have created. And you can see right here, it says ./component, and basically that means a step back, and you'll find it in the component folder. So click on it, and it immediately import the header from a component that we created, from the component folder we created. So let's do this and close it, single tag, and look at that, how quickly it appeared. And now let's do the footer, but first let's do it the other way. So now we imported it, and it we basically wrote the header here, and then it automatically imported it here. So let's do it the other way. So now let's import footer from from / from component, and then slash, and then we'll say footer. All right, and then we'll come here and we'll say footer, and then slash, and then close it. It has one single thing, but you know what, let's apply the CSS for everything. So 1 second, where is the footer? Right, it should be appearing somewhere here. Let's inspect. Okay, there's glitches. Oh, there you go. All I have to do is just refresh and that's it. All right, so now we have the Note app, which is the title, which is the header on our website, and we have the footer, which is the copyright. And we can create another component, okay, and we could say, let's give it a random name. Let's say note.jsx, and inside of the note, we'll do the usual. And in here, let's give it a class name and call it note. Let's call it no. Should we call it note or notes? Let's call it note. And then what we'll do here is we'll have a h1 that could be the title of the, let's say h2, and let's give it like a title of the note. We'll say my course, and then down here we'll have a p tag, and it's going to be Lauren. Doesn't have to be this long. Yes, that's it. That's enough. And now let's refresh. Oh, sorry. We have to first import and add the note from the component, and it's imported here, and there you go. So we have a note/to-do app, and then that's the title of the app, and then we have a title for the note, which is my course, and then this could be a random note about the course, and then at the bottom the copyright. Simple, easy, and straightforward. That's all. This is the whole component concept that you need to understand. Component is basically building another folder, and within the folder you name a component, and it has all the necessary things. Because imagine if we didn't have this and we had all these three files, okay, all these three files, all of them being in here. Imagine if we had a little bit complex a little bit more complex app than the one we have now. Imagine how long this could have been. Like the entire app.jsx, it could have been extremely long, and that makes it difficult for working with developers. They would look at the code and be like, what is this code? Oh, what is this? However, components makes things easier and easily to implement in here. So the header, the node, and the footer. That's all what we need to do. In the next lesson, we will dive deep and apply some CSS to this, and it's going to be fun. And also we will learn about a props, what we call props in React, because it goes along with components. So for all that and more, I'll see you in next lesson.